Right, hi guys. Firstly, my apologies for last night with the live. I don't know what went wrong. Well, I do know, I think I know what went wrong. I think there's an issue with the latest update on the iPad, which means that we have problems with the sound. So I'm going to do this video and upload it to the group, so you're not going to miss out on anything. But my apologies that it didn't all happen yesterday. It's just the way these things go. So anyway, this is the cubby that I'm going to be doing. Obviously, if you're going to join your cubbies to other cubbies, you don't need to decorate the outside, but I'm going to concentrate mainly on the inside anyway, and then we go from there. Right, so I'll just move some of these things out of the way like that. And I'm using distress stains. I've had these for ages and just never really used them, so I thought I'd get them out and have a go. I'll just check, yeah, everything's in the shot of the camera. I'd hate to do the whole video and it all be off camera, that would be a bit silly. So first of all, I'm going to get the dried marigold, the barn door, the scattered straw and the wild honey. First of all, I'll move those two out of the way, and then you just give them a shake, and then on a piece of cartridge paper I'm going to just be a bit random really, so literally just put some of these out, not really thinking about it too much. Like that. And then I'll get a little bit of the barn door, splosh that on, and then what we need to do is just kind of blend that a little bit because that's quite a strong colour. So just blend that in. Like that, and then I'm just going to give it a very light spritz just to give it a little bit of a distressed look, and we'll dry that off. With my super dodgy heat gun. Okay, so when you get your cubbies, you get 4 sides. I'll just pop those bits out. This is the large one, and you get one piece that is the kind of inner, if you like. I'm just going to place that on there roughly like that, and grab a pencil and then just draw around like that. So I've got a rough idea of the rectangle that I want to use. So let me just cut this out. Like that. Move those out the way. So that's your little rectangle, which will fit roughly. You can always trim it before you glue it in, but it's going to fit roughly to that. So then I'm going to add some stamping. So just with a VersaFine ink pad and with a crackle stamp, I'm just going to add just a little bit of stamping here and there. That. I'll just clean that up a little bit. Okay, I'll give that a quick blast. And then, just to finish off that background so you can see how easy this has been, I've got this stencil. Now this is a new stencil that we're going to be bringing out soon. So I'll just pop that on there like that. Get a palette knife. And this is the crackle paste, which I'm just going to pop over like that. That's it. Get rid of any extra bits that you don't want. That's it. And then what we need to do, see how simple that was? We just need to pop that to one side to allow that to crack. What I will do very quickly is just wipe my stencil because I'm rubbish at cleaning things up. That's it. Okay. Right, pop my lid back on. So I shall move that over to one side over there and hopefully I won't knock it off. Okay, so what we can do now is we can put together our cubbies. Now the way these work, because you have your holes offset, they're not running down the centre, you can decide whether to use your cubby which is not so deep, so you've just got that kind of gap there, or you can have a deep cubby like that. And we do these in 3 different sizes, and we also do some that have got apertures cut out of them, which you could put in an acrylic piece, which we sell those separately as well, or you can just layer up images in front so you kind of be able to see right through it. So there's different ways of using them. To glue them together, hopefully my glue will come out. Yeah, gluing them together is very straightforward. Put that in there. And then that will go that way. glue's starting to block up. I wonder if it, oh, that's better, it's cleared itself. Oh, one's fallen off, not quite dry yet. Let's pop that back on. That's it, like that. And then that one goes on there like that. That's it. And it's really as simple as that to glue it together. Not at all complicated. Just make sure your edges are all nice and level. Like that. It needs a bit more glue, I think. I'm just going to pop a bit more glue on there. Oh, all falling apart here. Like that. Right, I'm going to let that set because all the time I keep moving it around while it's not set, it's just going to fall apart. So I'll move that to one side and we can move on to the house. So I've got a little house and a heart, and I'm just going to give this a coat of this light mocha. Brush, and I'm just going to paint that. You don't need to worry about this area too much because we've got this other piece that sits over the top, but I will do the edges. Like that. And I'm going to do the same with this one. And the same with the heart. Like that. Just give that a little mop up. And then I will dry those pieces off. Okay, excuse the bulge in my plastic. I should get my other little, I've got a little drying or a heat piece of acrylic somewhere, and I don't know what I've done with it. Right, so now I'm going to use some of the tumbled glass and faded jeans, give them a bit of a swoosh, and then I'm just going to randomly put some of this colour on. And then while I'm about it, I'm going to put some barn door on my heart and try and put a little bit around the edge here. Like that. Okay, now what you can do at this stage if you want to is you can spritz again just to distress, just a very, very light spritz, and then we will dry those off. Like that. So let me just move those out the way and give that a wipe. Like that. So what we can do now, we'll take the heart and literally all I'm going to do is put one layer of ultra thick embossing enamel on it. So get your little piece of paper that you're going to capture your powder in, and I did have available to me a VersaFine pad which has decided to up sticks and walk. I should have another one somewhere, bear with. Yeah, so just a normal Versamark pad, which I'm just going to squish that into that like that. Leaves a little bit of ink, never mind, that's fine. And then there's my ultra thick. So I'm going to go with one layer of those like that. Get that out the way. And I can find my acrylic mat that I put everything on. I've put it somewhere, not quite sure where. Let me pop it on the top of here and dry it. That way it won't wrinkle up my mat. Now because you're only putting one layer on, you're going to get like a pitted look to it. So I'll just see if I can hold that up to the camera so you can see. And that's the look that I want. Okay, so pop that out the way. Then with these, I'm just going to do a combination of a little bit of stamping. So I'm going to stamp on the roof. Like that. And then down the sides of the house, I'm just going to get a black pen, just a thin one. This is a 0.5 uni pin, but it can be any thickness, and I'm just going to run a few little details down the edge. like that. And that is so simple. Again, it's just simply that. So I'm going to glue that onto the top there, if my glue works. Yeah, it's coming out. Pop that on there, like that. And we'll leave that to dry. And once that's dry, we'll pop the heart on top. Okay, I'm going to bring back some of this paper that I used earlier, and this time I'm going to just do a little strip of blue, add a bit of blue like that. Let's just give that a bit of a blend. And then just a very quick spritz. We'll give that a dry. Oh, and suddenly it sparks into life. Like that. That's it. And then the stamp set that I'm using is this chocolate baroque one, but I want the quirkiness is a good thing sentiment. So I shall get that out. And then with a Versamark ink pad, or Versafine, sorry, Versafine ink pad, I'm just going to stamp that onto there. That's it. Pop that back. We'll dry that off. And then I'm just going to cut this out. But I want it in 2 lines, so I'm going to just cut it after the word quirkiness. Pop that over there. Okay, this is now dried, thankfully. So I'm just going to give the insides a little coat of the light mocha. You don't have to worry about doing the back because you're going to be laying your piece of paper over the top there. So a bit more, put some on there. Like that. And then that side. A bit more paint. too much probably, but never mind, I might give it a second coat. We're actually there now. That's it. Give that a bit of a wipe. And then this next stage you don't need to do if you're joining your cubbies. I'm just cleaning my brush. With the turquoise blue, I'm just going to paint round the outside . More. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to touch in the front. Like that. Okay. So what I need to do is just make sure everything is dry. Let's give this a bit of a blast. and I will come back shortly because my crackle has not quite dried yet, so I'm going to come back when that's dry and then we'll finish it all off. Right, take 2 of the video. This is now dry. So what I need to do is I need to just trim this down to fit in there. So it is just taking a fraction off until it fits. So go like that. Yeah, that's pretty good. Now I've got to get it out so I can glue it. Or it can just stay in there. That will probably stay in there actually, to be honest. I'm not going to be too worried about it. So that will fit in there like that. And then what we can do then is we can glue these bits in. But what I did with this one is you want to get a bit of scrap card. Let's just see what I've got here. I should have lots of scrap bits. Let me just cut some of this off like that, and cut that down there like that. And then what we do is we can glue this to the back of that, and what that does is that just makes it sit up a little bit proud, which makes it a little bit more interesting. So pop some glue on there like that and put that on the back there, and then I've got my knife here, so I'm just going to very carefully get that out because I would prefer it if it was glued in. So I shall pop some glue on the back of there. Like that. And then I'll put that back in there. Oh, I've got a little bit of a run of paint in there. I'm just going to get rid of that. What I might need to do is just touch it in with a little bit of the cream. So I shall do that first. It's a little bit too noticeable to leave. I think it's where the blue has just run through the gaps. Gives it a little touch of something actually, because you've got a little hint of blue on the inside as well now. I'll just touch that bit in as well because I've gone a bit heavy-handed. Around that side. Less speed and all that, or whatever they call it. That's it, right. So what we'll do now is we'll just pop that in there. Like that. And then we'll get some glue on here, like that. And then that will pop in there. The heart we're going to put on the top. and then I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue on here. You could raise these up as well if you wanted to, actually. Let's see if I can do that easily. Cut a bit of these bits of balled up. And right, let's put a bit of glue on there. Like that. And we'll pop that in there, roughly in the middle. And then we'll put that one on that bit. Let's trim that down a little bit. Always handy to keep hold of all your little bits and bobs of card, because you never know when they're going to come in useful just to mount something up. I'll put that on there. Bit more glue, and then we'll pop that on there like that. And that's that. That's the inside done. Now, if you want to, you can do what I did, which I don't need to show you how to do it, but what I did here was I got that same stencil with the crackle paste, and I've done that on the sides. Of course, if you're joining this to other cubbies, then you don't want to. But what you'll also need to remember is you can probably only do 2 sides, then you've got to let it dry before you flip it over and do the other side, which I haven't done on this one, so I'll tell you what, I'll do that now so you can see. So we just pop that on there like that, get your crackle paste, and we can just run some of that down there like that. Like that, and then I'll let that dry so it'll crack. In fact, I'll turn this sideways like that. I'll just give this a quick clean up, and yeah, basically guys, it's as simple as that. That's how easy that is to do. I'll show you those two together, and yeah, that's it. So thanks very much for joining me. Again, I apologise for the live last night, but I'm sure we'll get something sorted. If Apple do an update or something, they might solve it. We'll see. Or if I find out a cure for it, we'll get it sorted out. So that's that for now, and yeah, see you later guys.